So, hi, I'm here today with Mollie Cox Bryan. And Mollie and I have known each other for years, and she's going to be a guest on Mystery Mondays. So, Mollie, how did you become an author? What was your journey to get you to this point?
Well, it's been a long journey. I first started off in the business in journalism, and I wrote a couple of cookbooks. I was a food journalist, wrote a couple of cookbooks, and I've always loved writing fiction, been writing fiction since I was a kid. And it just so happened that my culinary agent took on a fiction agent partner, and they were looking for fiction. And they said to me, "Do you have any ideas?" And I was writing a fiction just for fun. And I ran it by them and they liked it. So I'd say from that point on, I've been writing mostly cozy mysteries, a few sweet romances here and there. And now I'm writing historical mysteries.
I didn't know that you had a culinary background. Wow, that's
Yes.
pretty cool. That's great. So one of the things that people always ask is, where do you get your ideas for books? I'm sure that being a journalist and having a culinary background, that gives you some ideas. What else informs you?
Well, things that obsess me, like, years ago, I was obsessed with scrapbooking, and I know you can relate to that.
I can.
Um, and I was moved by going to scrapbooking crops and listening to women talking about their families,
Hmm.
as if they had known each other for years. And they would
Hmm.
just open up to each other as they were scrapbooking, telling stories. And so I became obsessed with that whole thing. And then, now I'm obsessed with Eliza Hamilton, and that came from watching the play. My daughters forced me to. I had no interest in watching Hamilton, but when it came on Disney, my daughter said, "You need to sit down and watch this." And so I became obsessed with Eliza Hamilton, and that's why I'm writing about her now.
Okay, that's cool. And so that's your historical. Tell us about your different series, because I would guess that's your historical series.
Yeah. Well, the historical series, the second book in the series is just out. It came out a couple weeks ago, and it's
Hmm.
called The Widow Hamilton. The first book is The Lace Widow, and it came out several years ago. And they're set after Alexandra Hamilton dies, so she's in her 40s, and she's a widow. And I think that her life was so interesting after he passed away. She went on to accomplish so much. And so I became obsessed and wanted to learn more. And of course, it came out as uh, a mystery, a mystery series. Yeah.
That's cool. So you also work 9 to 5, and I know that a lot of people always wonder how does somebody find time to write a book, period? But how do you manage when you have a 9 to 5 and these obligations?
Well, when my girls were little and both of them were still at home, I worked around their schedules. They would go off on the school bus, and I was a stay-at-home mom then, but I also freelanced and
Hmm.
did some editing work and things like that. And I was able to fit things in then. And I think that um, there's no one way, right? So after my marriage broke up, I had to go back to a 9 to 5 job,
Hmm.
and I had contracts I needed to fulfill. And I tried to write at night after work, but I was just like brain dead. There's just no way that was going to work.
Hmm.
So I got up at 4 o'clock every morning and started writing before work.
Wow.
Crazy, I know. So I'm in bed very early, Joanna.
I guess you are. I guess you are. Have you ever done that thing, Mollie, where you fall asleep while you're typing and you wake up to find the stream of letters or dots or something?
Yeah.
I just wanted to know because
Yes,
that
yes,
happens to
yes, of
me.
course, yes.
You're you, you you're waking when you wake up and you don't realize what part of you rested on the keyboard, right?
Right, right.
That's always a shock. And it's never a new paragraph. It's always
Right.
something useless.
Yeah.
Well, that's really a testament to the desire to write, Mollie.
Yeah, I love it.
Congratulations for that.
Yeah. I love writing. I ask myself all the time, why I put myself through it, but I just love it. So the reward is worth so much to me.
So when you hit a wall, what do you do?
I usually either try working on something else
Mm-hmm.
or take a shower,
Yeah, the
you know?
water, the
Yeah,
water.
go for a walk,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. It really doesn't do you any good to try to force it, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we're going to have you as a guest tomorrow on Mystery Mondays at Joanna's Readers, the Facebook group. So what are you going to be telling us about or sharing with us? What's your most recent triumph, kiddo?
Well, I think, the Eliza Hamilton books are definitely one of the things that we'll be talking about. Like I said, I'm so excited about her and just obsessed. And there's just so much to learn and so much to tell about her. So, and I don't know, maybe we'll get into some of my other series. I also write as Maggie Blackburn, and now this series is under the name Mollie Ann Cox, but I
Mhm.
also have a lot of books out as Mollie Cox Bryan. So maybe some of those will sneak in there too. We'll see.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending time with me, part of your Sunday, and I will talk to you tomorrow at
Okay.
Joanna's Readers. You take care, Mollie.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.